It is the greatest spectacle in all of the Castrol GTX Cup Series and all of and more importantly all of motorsports as well. This is Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the famous Brickyard itself, as we are here today for the running of the Brickyard 400, stock number 20 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series. And what a spectacle it always is. And of course, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, of course, is always home to the famous Indianapolis 500. And so we'll see how these cars will run here today at the Brickyard, how good of a race we'll have as well. And so yeah. So anyway, let's get to the lineup for today's running event. On the pole, it is Phil Parker, number 5, in the Kellogg's Cornflakes Chevrolet on the pole for today's event. He'll be alongside Kyle Matthews, number 42, the Coors Light Silver Bullet. His starts alongside winner this season at Rockingham and again at Sonoma. Second row will have Kat Batson, car 88, that takes the Quality Care Services Ford Credit Ford. Beside her will be the man who shocked them all in the Pepsi 400, Nicholas Wade, in car 26, the Quaker State Buick, the Quaker State Ford. They didn't run Buicks back then. They didn't run Buicks in the late 90s. Doggone it. Third row will have Dylan Young in car number 2, the Miller Genuine Draft Ford. And beside him will be Jason Haywood in 81, the Square D Ford. Fourth row will have Zachary Fitzwater in car 9 in a Spam Melling Ford, and Trent Dunham, two-time winner this season in the number 1 Pennzoil Pontiac, Pennzoil Chevrolet. His wins this season came at Texas and again at Darlington. Going to the fifth row, we'll have Charles Sanford in 24, the DuPont Chevrolet, still yet to get a win this season, and Jessica Shelton, number 94, the McDonald's Ford. Her wins came at Dover and again at Michigan. Going to the next row down, we'll have car number 23, the Smokin' Joe's Ford of Paul Minnick, and beside him will be Jesse Turner, number 75, the Remington Arms Ford. Next row down, Keith Batson, car 20, Texaco Haviland Ford. He has one of our in-car cameras in today's event, and William Brock, number 4, the Kodak Chevrolet, starts alongside. Next row down has Becca Tellier in the Valvoline Ford, car number 6, and Joshua Collard in number 43, the STP Pontiac. Next row down, we'll have our second in-car camera, Cole Deaver in the GM Goodrich Chevrolet car number 3. His wins came at Bristol and again at North Wilkesboro. And beside him will be car number 90, the Hollick Mars Ford of Jay Jefferson, starts alongside. Next row down has Ashlyn Boyd in number 11, the Lowe's Ford, and Seth Cullen, number 98, the RC8 Ford. His win this season came at Martinsville. Next row down has 99 car, Levi McIntyre in the XI's SKF Ford. And he is alongside Brian George, number 15, the Quality Care Services Ford. Next row down has Dylan Poteet, number 22, the MB&A Pontiac, and Jonathan Zorlin, number 7, the XI Ford. Next row down has Quentin Moore, number 21, the Citgo Ford, the Daytona 500 champion. And beside him, Johnny Gardner, number 16, the Family Channel Prime Star Ford. Next row down has Preston Plord, 3-time winner this season, in the Interstate Barriers Pontiac. His wins came at Auto Club, Richmond, and again at the first Pocono event. He starts alongside number 44. It is Mike Becker, and the winner this season at Atlanta, and the last race on the tour at Pocono, the second race there. He's in the Hot Wheels Pontiac, car number 44. He has some Hot Wheels today in this one. Next row down has number 71, Carter Friesen in the Realtree Chevrolet, and number 77, Diego Yepes in the US Air Jasper Engines Federal Mogul Ford. Next row down has Zach Winkle in the John Deere Ford, number 97, driving the Thunderbird in this race. And number 13, Sean Ard in the First Plus Financial Ford. Next row down has number 25, that is Ben Crouch in the Budweiser Chevrolet. And number 33, it is Tony Green in the Skull Bandit Chevrolet. Next one down is Vince Almerigo, number 10, the Tide Ford, and beside him will be number 37. It is Austin Colano in the Kmart RC Cola Ford. Next one down has number 30, Daniel Bouchard in the Pennzoil Pontiac, and Joshua Osborne in 87 in Burger King Chevrolet, winner of the season at the 600 at Charlotte. And it's Rob Emerson, number 12, and Ryan Brummer, number 17. And then starting shotgun is number 41, Peter Onjack. And here comes the command to fire the engines.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
So Indianapolis, of course, a place where a lot of motorsports history has been made, regardless of what kind of motorsport we're talking about. Though we're talking about here, of course, right here is where all the history's been made. It seems like, in not just in the Brickyard 400 in NASCAR, but of course also, as we said, in the famous Indianapolis 500, where many a great name has hoisted victory, has visited victory lane in both those races. And of course, not to mention just down the road at Indianapolis Raceway Park, or what's now Lucas Oil Raceway, obviously, in both not just on the short track, but not just on the drag strip, but the NHRA U.S. Nationals is held at, where a lot of great names have won there, but also on the short track at Indy, just adjacent to the drag strip, where the Busch Grand National, the Truck Series, and of course also the USAC cars have also run there as well. In fact, they used to run the night before the 500 USAC Silver Crown race on that very short track, as a matter of fact, back sometime, I think, in the 80s and 90s. But anyway, let's just say Indianapolis definitely is the racing capital of the world, in my opinion. And others can say Daytona, some can say Charlotte, some can say Monaco, possibly. But, but Indy is the place to be when it comes to racing. And that's where we're at today here. Phil Parker and Kyle Matthews will lead them down to the green flag here for 24 laps around the racetrack here for the Brickyard 400. We had a great race at Pocono with these cars. This track is kind of similar, except shaped as a rectangle and not a triangle. As the field comes down the front straightaway here, lined up in perfect formation as they come to the start-finish line. Pace car is on the pit road, and the green flag is out, and boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys and girls. And Phil Parker took off like John Force on that start. Kyle Matthews to second position. Third now is here comes Cat Batson. Dylan Young will go up to fourth position as they come off turn number 2. And problems already on the back stretch. And oh my God, Tony Green with a hard crash. Ryan Brommer's crash. There's Ryan George. We saw Jonathan Zorn. That's the car we saw turn around. Rob Evans involved. Daniel Bouchard's involved. Austin Colano. I think Johnny Gardner's got some damage to his car. Zach Winkle, the Talladega winner. I think Peter Onjek, I think he's clean. Well, it didn't take long for the action to get going here at Indy, that's for sure. It's going to be one of those races, I would imagine, but... Oh, Tony Green, I think Tony Green definitely got the hardest hit of the whole bunch. Phil Parker won respect to the start-finish line with Kyle Matthews second. Let's see who else got involved there. I think the 13 and the 77 are clean. Joshua Osborne's got some damage in the 87 car. That's one of the guys who's been having some good runs lately going into this event. Started way back in the back, and I think that kind of hurt him right there as far as trying to avoid whatever wreckage that happened coming off turn number 2. And Austin Colano we saw just rear into the back of Johnny Gardner's car for some inexplicable reason. Well, the 7 car is the one to keep an eye on in his first caution flag of the day as he goes inside of Brian George, and I think George kind of shuts him down into the 21 of Quentin Moore. And right there, trouble just broke there. Mike Becker's involved, the winner of Pocono, the last race on the tour. And there's where Osborne got his hit right there, and several cars on Daniel Bouchard 87 or 30 car, excuse me, and then that's where Brommer got hit. We saw Rob Evans get hit right there, and oh, Peter Onjek barely missed the 12 car of Rob Evans, and I think Colano might have got away clean. I'm actually not sure. I don't know how, because he was right there behind the 12 car. But unfortunate situation and there was actually several good cars actually got involved in this deal too. Some potential guys that, if not winners, possibly potential contenders in this race. Real time. Zach Winkle riding a four-wheel tornado in this whole situation. And let's look at Tony Green's crash right there in the 30 car. Or 33, I should say. He was on the outside of Joshua Osborne trying to avoid this whole situation. He had it slowed down a bit. Oh my God. Basically just threw the car sideways, trying to get the car trying to avoid the wreckage. And you saw the end result. That was a hard crash. I want to see the impact speed on this. I mean, he had it slowed down a bunch. Then he just accelerated the car and then tried to slow down again. And it impacts the guardrail about 125 miles per hour. And then I cannot imagine the G-forces on the sudden stop that he's got. Now, I would say probably negative G's. I'd say probably the equivalent of when the parachute comes out on the top fuel dragster in drag racing, where the kind of feeling where your whole head's is going to go forward, and then just break your neck. I guess you might say. And I guess that's what Tony Green kind of felt like when that whole crash happened. I mean, like I said, a sudden stop like that when you hit the wall like he did. Oh my gosh! It's just something one's got to experience to if he or she comes out alive. That is to kind of describe what it feels like. And even then, I don't know if you can or not. But anyway, Phil Parker is leader of the race here. Kyle Matthews is second position. We'll give you the field rundown, as I think they'll get the one to go this time by. Yes, they will. Pace cars lights are off. Phil Parker's your leader. Second is Kyle Matthews. Third is Cat Batson. Fourth is Dylan Young. Fifth is Zachary Fitzwater. Sixth right now is Charles Sanford. Seventh is Paul Minnick. Eighth is Jason Haywood. Ninth, one of our in-car cameras, Keith Batson. Nicholas Wabrin's 10th. 11th is Trent Dunham. 12th right now is Becca Tellier. Excuse me. 13th is Cole Deaver. 14th is Jessica Shelton. 15th is Seth Cole. Another one of our in-car cameras, as is Cole Deaver. He's also another one of our cameras. 16th is Ashlyn Boyd. 17th is Jesse Turner. 18th is Levi McIntyre. 19th, Dylan Poteet. 20th is William Brock. 21st, Jay Jefferson. 22nd is Quentin Moore. 23rd is Joshua Collard. 24th, Preston Plord. He did a masterful job getting through that crash without question. Carter Friesen's 25th. 26th is Ben Crouch. 27th is Vince Almerigo. 27th, 28th is Diego Yepes. 29th right now is Sean Ard. 30th is Peter Onjak. 31st is Johnny Gardner. 32nd, Mike Becker. 33rd, Joshua Osborne. 34th, Zach Winkle. 35th, Ryan George. 36th, Rob Evans. And that's all the cars that's still running. Cars out of the race are Austin Colano, Jonathan Zorlin, Tony Green, without question. Daniel Bouchard and Ryan Brommer are all the ones out of the race here because of crashes. So Phil Parker, car number 5, looking for his first victory of the season. He's looking to get his first victory of the season, and we're better to get it than the Brickyard possibly. I mean, it's one of the big tracks on the circuit as far as prestige and stuff. But Kyle Matthews, he'd like to get a victory over there, as will Cat Batson, as will Dylan Young. Well, let's just say everybody else behind him would like to get a victory, obviously, here at the Brickyard. Green flag back out, and another good start by Phil Parker. He's got some kind of a transmission under that number 5 Kellogg's Cornflake Chevy. Caution flag dropped the average speed down to 87 miles per hour, but I have a feeling it's going to climb back up there as long as this race stays green. Another thing, of course, we could mention, obviously, the start of the race could get pretty hairy here at Indy. And here comes Kyle Matthews for the lead on Phil Parker. So he goes inside of the 5 car. Now they're going to be side by side, as well the 42, as well the 2 and the 88, and the 9 and the 24. And Matthews both about a half a car ahead, but here comes Parker back on the outside of the racetrack here. Drag race down the front stretch. And Parker keeps the lead somehow, and here comes Cat Batson to the inside in the 88 cars. He'll get by Matthews. They qualify here at well over 200 miles per hour here at Indy. And this is a whole lot faster track than we saw at Pocono, where the speeds were about barely over 185 miles per hour. This is 200 miles per hour right here. We saw 217 out of Jason Haywood, in fact, in the draft going into turn number 3. Back bumper, Cole Deaver's car. Looking right at the nose of Charles Sanford and Seth Cole. Deaver rides 10th right now. And he comes in this race, second place in the standings, trying to gain some points on Kyle Matthews. There's the roof cam on the GM Goodrich Chevrolet, and we've got the camera behind him right there with Seth Cole. See how fast Seth goes into turn number 1. 215, 17, 18, 222 miles per hour into turn number 3. You don't think these cars are fast? And Seth just laid a lap down at almost 209 miles per hour. I want to check and see what the fast laps are. Yeah, Matthews got the fast lap at 209.2. But Seth's caught on the hot side of the track here as Jesse Turner goes by. Now his buddy Dylan Poteet goes by. 98 and 22 cars, and Poteet's got the draft off another veteran, Trent Dunham. And Poteet goes by for position. That's for 13th position. Meantime, Phil Parker still leads. Second position right now is Cat Batson. Third is Paul Minnick. Fourth, Nicholas Wade. Fifth position right now is Jason Haywood, another one of the drivers who has won here at the Brickyard before. Then Dylan Young, Cat Batson, Kyle Matthews, Cole Deaver, and Ashlyn Boyd, the top 10. But here comes Jesse Turner trying to go to the inside. That's for 11th place. I cannot imagine the RPMs are turning right now in those kind of speeds as well. Yep, there's the tachometer. I think Seth. Yeah, there you saw how much Seth Cole's turning right now. He's down about 8,500 in the middle of 3 and 4. Oh my gosh! Now he's got the draft. Let's see, 89, 9,000, 91, 2, up to about 9,200 RPMs going in turn number 3 or turn number 1. Excuse me. That's the big circle on the instrument panel from Seth Cole's car. That's the tachometer. You see the pack of cars right now. There's Jesse Turner, Zachary Fitzwater, Sanford's in this mix, as is Preston Plord, Dylan Poteet, and another driver up there in the points. That's William Brock, who currently comes in this race fourth. Who comes in this race third or fourth in the standings, something like that. Third or fourth, up in the top 5. Has not won a race yet, but he has been very consistent. But right now, he's steadily dropping back at the moment. Jay Jefferson goes inside of him now, as is Quentin Moore in the 21. And Levi McIntyre watching on just behind him as well. And whoa, McIntyre got very close to Brock's car. Joshua Caldy's dropped back to 22nd. Jessica Shelton back to 23rd. And I say as hairy as they're racing right now, I say as hairy as the racing's getting right now, I think Collard and Shelton's got a pretty smart idea right now. Well, Collard's actually reeled himself back into this mix right now. But they are getting very wild right now. Dylan Young in this mix right there. There's the... As he's getting a challenge from Kyle Matthews. That's... What position is this going to be for? I don't know. They have traded spots for everywhere except first at the moment, where Phil Parker's continuing to dominate this race. Young that time by comes across in 9th and Matthews in 10th. In the meantime, Cat Batson's dropped back there. Now Nicholas Wade goes to second place in the 26 car. Cat Batson right there behind. Cole Deaver behind him. Deaver moves inside of Becca Tellier in the 6 car. And Becca throws the block, but Deaver says no. Oh, whoa, that was close. Deaver just about touched the 6 car and about turned her around. And now they're going to tandem drive up against the 81 and 26 cars right now. Deaver does not know who he wants to go with right now, but he's trying to split the drive between the 26 and the 6 cars. And now Nicholas Wade's now been bumped out of the picture, and now here comes Tellier for second and Deaver for third. But Deaver's not having any of it. Here he comes going to try for second. If that 6 and the 3 cars can stay hooked up in this tandem right there that they're going to right now, they can catch the 5 car possibly of Parker, who has actually just pulled away from the field right now. And here comes Deaver for second. We've said this before, and it bears saying again. You keep trading positions like that. While it is good racing, though, you do let the leader pull away if you keep doing that. And right now, best thing that Phil Parker's hearing in his radio right now, you're out front and you're pulling away. And right now, Parker's got a bit of a lead right now, but Deaver could be closing right up on him, maybe catch a sniff of the draft of that 5 car. Seven laps to go here at the Brickyard 400. Average speed since the caution flag has bumped up to 147 miles per hour. Margin that time by was 44 hundredths of a second. Let's see how much Deaver can close up, and then he is getting closer to that 5 car. Phil Parker's been up there in contention to win many times there this season, and he has yet to close the deal. Whereas Deaver is looking for his 3rd victory of the season, trying to join Preston Ford on that list. And Deaver's almost chopped it in half. It's down to 26 hundredths of a second now. He's getting the draft off the 81 car of Jason Haywood. He's at the 3rd position now. Ashlyn Boyd is at the 4th now in the 11 car. And you have a shout out to that team right there in the 11 machine. And here comes Cat Batson on the inside now. Now the pair of blue Fords going side by side. Whoa, that was close. Matthew's trying to hold on for his position right now, but here comes Seth Cole. Gonna try for position on. Ooh. They were almost 3 wide in the 3rd turn right there. And oh, that was closer there, and Matthews is in the wall! He put him in the wall! And oh, they come up turn number 2, Matthews just about got the wall again! Matthews got put in the wall, come off turn number 1 by Dylan Young. And Matthews is sliding back. But we're far from done yet. Here comes Haywood for second. My fraps is skipping all over the place. I don't know what's going on. Phil Parker trying to hold them all off, though. Let's see what happens here between second battle still going for second between the 3 and the 81 cars. Two Chevys trying to hold off the Ford. And Devers right there, closing up on Parker another time. Coming down now for 3 laps to get his time by. Who wants it? Who wants it the worst? That's the question. Margin now down to 0.16 of a second now. Here comes Haywood in again for second place. But Devers trying to say, no, let's stay hooked up and we don't want to let Phil pull away. And here they come. They're side by side now. Devers pulls ahead by about a car length, but Haywood's still right there. And just about... Oh, Devers just about threw the block a bit too quick. But time's running out now. They're down to 2 laps to go this time by. Does anybody have anything for Phil Parker? Off the second turn, Haywood tries again. On to the third and fourth turns they come now. Here, it'll be the white flag for Phil Parker in car number 5, the Kellogg's Cornflake Chevrolet. And here he comes, white flag, last lap of the Brickyard 400. Phil Parker, car number 5, the Kellogg's Cornflake Chevrolet, has yet to win a race this season. And he's about a half a lap away from doing so right now. Deaver and Haywood still trying to hook up to try to get a run, but I don't think it's going to happen right now. Parker eyes the third turn. One more turn left to go. Haywood looks inside of Deaver off the fourth turn. Does not pull a J.R. Hildebrand, and off the fourth turn they come. And the Brickyard 400 Season 20 belongs to Phil Parker. The Raging Cajun has done it. Phil Parker, the number 5 Kellogg's Cornflake Chevrolet, gets his first victory of Season 20, and where better to do it than the racing capital of the world, Indianapolis. A great run of and unloaded off the truck fast, and he was fast in qualifying and fast in the race. The perfect package for the number 5 Kellogg's Cornflake Chevrolet out of Hendrick Motorsports does it here today. Cole Deaver does hold off Haywood for second place. Third will go to Haywood, I should say. Fourth place will go to Cat Batson. Fifth to Dylan Young. Sixth will go to Ashland Boyd. A great run for him. And how about Nicholas Wade? Again, another good top 10 finishes 7th. 8th will go to Trent Dunham. 9th to Jay Jefferson. And 10th position will go to Charles Sanford. So the Brickyard 400 Season 20 is in the books. And boy, what a finish that was. But Phil Parker led them all from the pole to the podium here at Indy, and it leads every lap about here. It's not quite a la Jeff Burton, New Hampshire 2000, but still, at least he had some Phil had some competition right in his rearview mirror. Average speed 160.873, and 1 caution period in this whole day as well. Rest of the finishing order here. 11th will go to Seth Cole, 12th to Jesse Turner, Levi McIntyre 13th, Becca Tellier 14th, 15th will go to Quentin Moore, Dylan Poteet 16th, then 17th will go to Zachary Fitzwater, Paul Minnick 18th, 19th Preston Plord, Jessica Shelton ends up finishing 20th, Joshua Collar 21st, William Brock 22nd, and Kyle Mathis with that wall hit. And Kyle Mathis, I think, has got some words to Dylan Young after that little skirmish that happened come off turn number 1. But Matthews dropped all the way down to 23rd after that whole deal, and he had a contention for a top 10 when this all happened. So the points leader does lose some points on Cole Deaver by virtue of the fact that Matthews finished 23rd and Deaver finished in 2nd in today's event. So, yeah. Keith Batson, 24th. Then Carter Friesen, Ryan George, Vince Almarigo, Sean R, 28th. Then 29th, Joshua Osborne. 30th, looking at Ben Crouch, Johnny Gardner, 31st. Diego Yepes, Peter Onjak, Zach Winkle, Mike Becker, and Rob Evans was the last finisher in today's event in 36th position, and all of them were on the lead lap. So rest in the cars out of the race, Austin Colano, Jonathan Sorlin, Tony Green, Daniel Bouchard, and Ryan Brommer were the cars out of the race here today. So that's the story from the Brickyard 400 in Indianapolis. Congratulations again to Phil Parker, the winner of the Brickyard 400 for season 20. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on the channel. We got interesting gaming videos where every person of the NNSCRA for his channel. And please be sure to check out Stead's Last of Us Light series, Coors Light Truck series, the Pizza Hut X series, and the Hershey's Cup series. Please be sure to check those races out. And also be sure to check out Michael Dorman's Budweiser All Pro Series races as well. And if you want to subscribe to the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup series, we will leave you the script. We will leave you the channel link in the description for the channel of Thrash Maniac 99. That's the person who runs the Marvel Studios Cup series for the NNSCRA. So some of the best races offline series is under the NNSCRA umbrella. So that's the story from Indianapolis here for the Brickyard 400 as Phil Parker takes the win here today. You'll see you at Watkins Glen in the third and final road course race stop of the season. For now, this is James Colson, in production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best.